Hey guys, it's Derek here at Castaway Studios. I am coming to you. I think I'm becoming a little bit addicted to the adrenaline of the live stream, so beware. But I've jumped back on. I did a bit of an experiment earlier in the day in the live stream to try and test some stuff, and I ended up with a bit of a lag. And I think, hey guys, it's Derek here at Castaway Studios.
That's a classic.
I am
Hang on a minute.
coming to you, Trap for Young Players there. Fortunately, there's nobody watching, so that's kind of handy. All right, so I got on earlier in the day to show you my new purchase. Yeah, there's always a new purchase, but this time it came through not so much necessity. I worked a way of getting let me just get the right camera. I worked out a way of getting the Zoom L-8 set up with all the outputs how I wanted them, but it did involve a lot of splitters and a few things sort of waiting in line to have their turn, if you like. For instance, this output that goes to the front of the computer into the sound card is actually would actually just sit there in case I needed it. And this one is the headphones that I'm wearing now, not my normal headphones. This is my headphones just for doing this YouTube stuff, so my hands can wander around without a microphone getting in the way and without going on and off microphone. So that would also be sitting there idle, knocking around, making the desk look messy. Then you had one that went out to the monitors, and that just really only left one more, which was to go to all the headphones. So I figured I might dig out my old headphone amplifier, right, which is a little thing. But I did have a bit of trouble with it when I had it. It was a cheap one. It was like $40 or $50. And one of the pots was a bit crackly, and I wasn't happy. That's why when the Rodecaster Pro showed up, I was totally stoked with all the outputs that had for headphones in it. So what I did today was I went, you know what? I'm going to go and get this beautiful, beautiful thing. The PreSonus HP4 headphone amplifier. And when I looked on the PreSonus website, there was a guy who was in the John Mellencamp band going on about how wonderful it was. He was waving around his emergency one that he'd never used because his normal everyday one never went wrong. He had it strapped to the side of his amplifier, and it did look. I just thought it's time to have a really nice one of these. In all the mixes I've had that have multiple headphone outs, the amplifiers aren't ideal. They don't necessarily have to be, because it doesn't really affect the recorded quality, but you know what? It does in some ways, because sometimes you're recording out of these. Like, for instance, the white wire I showed you earlier actually sends us the signal into, let's say, mainly just for chat. I just use it as an emergency to do a mix minus if I need it for chat or something like that, when the computer's putting out Zoom or my son's Fortnite chat room, so he can mix minus his voice only and send it out there. But anyway, I wanted to tidy this up. I'm doing a lot of reviews and switching around desktop mixing boards a fair bit, and I figured, and also sometimes the board's got to be picked up, unplugged, and taken somewhere else. We're actually building a new studio at the moment, and so I thought, you know what, this desk needs its own bloody headphone amplifier, and so I went and bought it, and it's been great. One of the main sort of tipping points for me, and I'll get to this image here, was I'm not going to be able to, it's all pretty tight here, I've got to rewire everything, but there is a button on this thing, and it mutes the monitors. Okay, now this is really, really important. So this amplifier takes the monitor signal and the signal for all the headphones from one of these, right? So I've got it out of the master, right? Master out. So no one's got any reason to fiddle with anything up here anymore. So that comes out there and goes into the back of here as two balanced mono quarter-inch jacks. And then it comes out again to the monitors. So this actually, the monitors come through this machine, which means, one, you can control the in-room studio monitors from this knob at the front, and even better, you can mute them. And we've become, the Rodecaster Pro has spoiled us so much with its new feature. In one of the more recent firmware updates, they added a feature where you can set it so that if you put any of the microphone sliders up even a fraction, the room monitors cut out. So it's got its own monitor out, and it is absolutely fantastic feature, but it's switched our brains off. So that hysterical checking that the monitor's off that builds up over the years kind of drifted away again. So very important feature to be able to switch it off. Now, traditionally I have my monitors coming out of one of these, and I would have to reach and turn the pot down, which means you're constantly changing it. This has a button that allows you to mute it, and it's green. So if, I can have a note on the desk saying, if that green light's not on, switch the button, because you're recording feedback. If there's a couple of amateurs in the room and your super professional engineer sits there, puts his headphones on first and starts recording, you can record those monitors feeding back through the microphone ever so subtly and stuff up your recording. So it's nice to have that little button. Bam, turn it off. You can put it in your workflow. A lot easier than reach up, find the right knob, turn it off, turn it on again when you're done. All right, if no one can hear anything, then they can press that green button and they know where to find it to turn the monitors on again. So it works. It works better for me in this scenario. As well as that, one important thing for me is having a separate headphone amplifier, and a sturdy one at that. It means punters have the right to touch these knobs, right? So this will be marked. I haven't done it yet, but I'll mark what they are. That one's the engineers. The first one's engineers. Then it's going around clockwise. There's mic 1, which would be my host. Mic 2, which is the second guest, I guess. Much less used spot. Mic 3, 2 and 3 I've got coming out of the same pot, right? And they're in a splitter because they are the secondary guest spots. So the likelihood of one of them having to have his headphones at a slightly different level is much less. It's just kind of just so they can hear what's going on sometimes for phone interviews and whatnot. And then lastly, you've got number 4, which is going to be either your co-host or your straight up across the table interview guest. So that's the way I've got it going. And the last pot is the monitor's volume. So it's great, and it sounds better in the headphones. Currently, I'm not listening. These headphones are coming straight from the board, but it's pretty cool. All right, so that's why it's not fully necessary, but the amount of different things that I've got to have going on in here does mean it helps a hell of a lot having this separate. I can unplug this board, pick it up, and I take it out, bring it back in, and I haven't got to go through the whole process of trying to work out a tangle of 6 or 7 different inputs over here. It's simply that one there is the headphones and the monitors. So it really will, once I retidy this up, it will clean up the whole situation. That's for sure. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I thought I would do it live to combine testing the live thing. And I want to go back to this camera and see if the lag is still there. There is a tiny little lag I can see, but that's in the actual PC itself. It's not, it's any lag that separates the audio from the video is going to be in the computer itself, because once it's mixed together and thrown out to the internet, you might get delay and you might get stuttering or staggering or bad quality, but you won't get a delay. So there is a slight sort of the Matrix kind of vibe going on there, and I've got to have a look at my settings in the computer because that's the NDI input that's lagging and the other ones are not. So that one's fine, that's immediate, and that one is immediate, and we've even got the record player, look at that. So that's immediate. So it's only really the NDI PTZ camera that is lagging a little bit, and it's most likely a network issue. All right, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. I will see you next time.